Good Saturday morning, everyone. Taking a live look as the sun is coming up, and we are looking forward to a beautiful but very, very busy Saturday around town today.
Busy, and it is a beautiful day for that, though. It's been so hot recently that you go outside and you're like, ooh, remember the rain a couple weeks ago that we were all complaining about? Can we have that back?
Oh my God, but it's actually been a little bit muggy as well. And we're gonna head over to Greg Perez for a look at your forecast. I think a little bit of a cool down, I guess relative.
A little bit of a cool down, and the mugginess that we've been feeling is just the evaporation from all the rain that we've had over the past couple of months.
This might be TMI, but I was mowing the lawn yesterday, and I come out, and I just come back inside and I'm drenched. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of moisture still in the atmosphere from all the rain that we've been receiving, but good news on the way. A stray storm or two today. Otherwise, we are looking picture perfect for another round of Taylor Swift tonight. And of course, the Yankees play the Colorado Rockies as well. Let's bring you up into the mountains over Rocky Mountain National Park Alpine Visitor Center. A gorgeous start to our Saturday morning. Temperatures not too bad either. Already in the 50s, nearing 60 degrees, 59 degrees in Denver. Good morning. Sitting at a nice, comfortable, nearing 60 degrees out towards Lyman and Lamar. 40s and 50s into the high country. 70s out towards Grand Junction. HD Doppler radar, not a whole lot going on. A few scattered to isolated showers and thunderstorms pushing eastward from Sterling into portions of Kansas and Nebraska. Before this morning, we are going to be dry, and many of us through the afternoon hours are going to stay dry too. Here we go, maybe an isolated shower, rumble or two, but for the most part, things are looking a-okay for both the Rockies game and, of course, Taylor Swift. High temperature today of 82 degrees, and we're going to warm up from here. Details coming up in just a few minutes.
You heard Greg talk about it. Here it is. The weekend so many people have been waiting for. The Yankees are in town to take on the last place Rockies.
Duh.
Yeah, that's happening, but there's also this big Taylor Swift concert this weekend. RTD has a plan for all those downtown events. They say they'll add train cars to light rail trains heading to Empower Field. And good news for all those fans, both of baseball and T-Swift. Your ride will be free because of the Zero Fares for Better Air initiative happening all this month.
If you're flying this weekend, DIA says Taylor Swift is bringing in tens of thousands of people this weekend. The airport is expecting Sunday to be the busiest, with around 90,000 travelers passing through security. So if you are catching a flight, just get there at least 2 hours before your flight's boarding time. Right now, heading out the door to the airport, we do have a few delays already. There are 33 delays, 11 cancellations. DIA does suggest that you keep an eye on weather and then check your flight status. Also monitor parking availability and security wait times at flydenver.com.
The Nuggets parade last month took a turn for the worse when the fire truck carrying Nuggets players, including Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, hit a Denver police SWAT officer. That officer was seriously injured. We now have new information on the emergency dispatch audio from that day where the fire truck was told that it needed to keep moving.
Command Tower 15, we have an emergency, medical emergency right now. Say again, Tower 15. Medical emergency, cop fell down in front of us, and we're going to need an ambulance. 13th and Cherokee. They're transporting in golf cart.
Tower 15, yes, move forward. As soon as you get clearance from the police in front of you, yes, move forward.
The truck told command that the officer fell, but we now know that the Sergeant Justin Dodge, ran over by that fire truck. He then had to have his leg amputated later since he was in the hospital. The truck was then told to stop, and the players were escorted off. They finished the rest of the parade in a Denver police Bobcat vehicle as the officer was taken to the hospital.
Adams County Sheriff's Office is looking for a woman to talk to her as a witness after a deputy shot a man in a parking lot less than a minute after getting there. And now we're able to show you that surveillance video that shows some of what happened. We do want to warn you that it can be disturbing, and you will see multiple guns in this video. It happened just after midnight yesterday at the Lakeside Inn near Federal and 63rd Avenue. Surveillance video shows an Adams County deputy arriving behind a black SUV and then immediately drawing his gun. The driver and passenger in that SUV also get out, and the driver eventually puts what looks like a gun to his own head. And as he's backing up, the deputy shoots him. The Adams County Sheriff's Office doesn't know where the passenger in that car is, and they said they're still looking to talk to her as a witness.
Denver's health department says fentanyl overdoses that are fatal have increased 16% so far this year compared to the same time last year. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 50 times more potent than heroin. heroin. It's often mixed with other drugs, so some users don't even know that they're taking it when they take fentanyl. DPD says they're seeing an increase in powdered fentanyl. You can also now get naloxone, an opioid reversal drug, for free. Fentanyl strips are also available for free at the health department.
Immigration advocacy groups say the detention facility in Aurora is using solitary confinement more and more often. A complaint from the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network says the facility has a practice of overusing and then misusing solitary confinement as a tool to control behavior.
Solitary confinement should never be used, ever. They are being treated in a way that wouldn't be acceptable for anybody else to be treated, and the only way we can think through, like, how is this acceptable in this setting?
There have been complaints filed against the Aurora facility in 2018, 2019, and 2022. Laura Lunn from the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network says, if anything, the treatments since those have been filed have gotten worse. ICE says all formal complaints are investigated in some form.
Colorado's Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is putting a book ban in a national defense spending bill. House Republicans narrowly passed the annual defense bill, which outlines policy and funding for the U.S. military. Conservatives added amendments that would end diversity initiatives and block funding for service members to seek abortions and gender-affirming care. The House version of the bill also includes an amendment from Representative Boebert, which would prohibit military school libraries from offering, quote, pornography or books espousing radical gender ideology.
To save America, conservatives need to hold the line. We need to continue to push back against the Biden administration's woke agenda. We saw many victories yesterday doing exactly that.
Boebert also spoke in support of Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, who has been blocking military leadership nominations as he defends white nationalists in the military.
After the Supreme Court struck down President Biden's student debt relief plan, the Department of Education announced it would automatically forgive student loans for more than 800,000 borrowers. It's expected to forgive $39 billion in student loan debt. The department said the move targets administrative issues in the income-driven repayment system. Under the plans, federal student loan borrowers are eligible for forgiveness after 20 or 25 years of payments, that is depending on your plan. But the Education Department says some qualifying payments that should have moved borrowers closer to forgiveness were not accounted for. President Biden has also directed the Education Department to create a new plan for loan forgiveness based on the Higher Education Act. He is promising the proposal would be legally sound while warning that it is going to take longer. There are no specifics as of yet.
Hollywood is at a standstill as the largest unions in the movie and TV industries go on strike. Thousands of actors were out on the picket lines after their labor union and the industry's leading studios could not reach a deal.
Extremely moving, and it's very empowering, and it's very timely because it's now or never. And I think that all these people that are living the injustice feel it.
The strike started at midnight on Friday morning, and it's the first time that film and television performers have gone on strike since 1980. The Actors Union says the major studios remain, quote, unwilling to offer a fair deal on the key issues. They're asking for higher pay and safeguards around the use of AI in the creative arts. Films currently in production like Deadpool 3 and Wicked, for example, are expected to immediately come to a halt. Movies already set to be released like Barbie and Med 2 will still hit the theaters, but A-list celebrities say that they will not participate in any promotions, which of course will impact studio profits. Actors also will not appear at next week's San Diego Comic-Con, one of the big ones there, and the 75th annual Primetime Emmy Awards, slated for September 18th, may be postponed to next year, derailing the entire award season.